People will have negative opinions about you and every single thing you do. Let them. Let them judge. Let them react. Let them doubt you. Let them question the decisions you're making. Let them be wrong about you. Let them roll their eyes when you start posting videos online. Instead of wasting your time worrying about them, start living your life in a way that makes you proud of yourself. Let me do what I want to do with my one wild and precious life.
Okay, so everyone is talking about this book called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and I thought it would be really important to read it, even though initially I didn't want to read it. I find Mel a little bit brash, a little bit out there, and also quite bold with her statements. And maybe it's because I would like to be more bold with my statements, and I see that as something I would like to be more of. I had a PR person I was working with once say to me, who do you think your main competitors are in this space? And I said, Mel Robbins. And she said, oh, interesting that you compare yourself to Mel Robbins. You think that you're in the same league. And I thought that was really interesting that someone else, I saw her as a, not necessarily a competitor. We're very much in the same space, but the other person saw me on a totally different level, as in a much lower level than Mel Robbins. And to be fair, Mel Robbins has published several bestsellers. 2 of her bestsellers have had over 3 million sales. So to be fair to the PR person I was talking to, they're not wrong. She's further ahead than I am in the world. However, her message is completely relatable to our audience. So I'm Joy Foster. I'm the host of the Career Interrupted podcast. And this is a little sponsor update because the Career Interrupted podcast is sponsored by TechPixies. That is our number one sponsor. And TechPixies run 3 different amazing courses. One's a life coaching course, one's a social media coaching course, and one is a business coaching course. And we've built these up over the years, and we've worked with nearly 1,000 women in our social media course. We've worked with over 150 women in our life coaching course, and we've worked with 30 women in our business course, and we're getting amazing, awesome results for the women who are showing up doing the work. So I wanted to I wanted to just come on and do a special podcast episode dedicated to Mel Robbins. I hope she doesn't mind. I'm going to read an extract of her book. I'm also going to give away 4 copies of her book. So this is the brand new book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. So if you would like to get your hands on a free copy, which is paid for by TechPixies, as my thank you to Mel Robbins for letting me read an extract of her book on my podcast, please comment anywhere you see us talking about Mel Robbins and promoting this podcast. Please comment below, and then we will send out the 4 books to the winners. Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, fabulous. Just go onto our social medias. All of them are TechPixies, at TechPixies. So you can go on social media anywhere that we are, which is pretty much everywhere. We are on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. We no longer use X, but we are on there. So don't comment there because we won't see it. And did I say YouTube? I think so. I think I said YouTube. Anyway, we're on all the networks at TechPixies. All right. So you have to comment, go to our socials and say, I want Mel's book, The Let Them Theory, and then we will draw your name out of a hat. Okay. So here is the part of the book that when I was listening to it, I'm an Audible listener. I was listening to it and I was just blown away. First of all, because I have a solution that would have helped Mel really early on, but she didn't know about us because I'm not as big as she is. So I got to work on that. But I was listening to this part of her book and I literally stopped in my tracks. I was walking the dog and I was like, we can solve this problem. And we have been solving this problem for a decade. So here's what she says. This is chapter 5, page 81. And she's talking about fearing other people's opinions. That's the sort of headline. And the chapter is chapter 5. And she says, let them think bad thoughts about you. So she's talking about building her business. And she says, 10 years ago, I was just getting started as a motivational speaker. I was brand new to the speaking industry. And like a lot of new businesses, in the beginning, there was no money. Raise your hand if you know what that feels like. To get started and to get my foot in the door, I would reach out to small women's conferences and pitch myself to speak for free. If you're starting a business or you've got a side hustle or you've started trying to make money online through social media, you're probably nodding your head because in the very beginning, you're putting in a lot of work with zero return. Anyone nodding their head along with me? Yes. I started getting frustrated that a year had gone by and I was getting better on stage and the audiences were getting bigger, but my bank account was getting smaller. Why? Because I was working a full-time job during the week and doing the speaking gigs for free on the weekends. And as I wrote about in the introduction of this book, so the book is The Let Them Theory, she said, this was during the period of time when my husband and I were struggling with massive financial debt. So I was highly motivated to figure out how to make money doing this. So this is her speaking career. She says, I asked some of the more experienced speakers for advice on how to get started, how to start getting paid, which is what I recommend you do in whatever business venture or side hustle you're dreaming of launching. And then she goes on to say on page 82, every business has a formula. Follow it. I say that because one of the things I see people get hung up on all the time is the belief that I need to be different. That is a fancy way to say that you're afraid other people will think you copied them. This is an example of how your fear of what other people think holds you back from following the most obvious, easiest, and proven path to success. Let them, so that's her theory, let them think you copied them because you did. And they copied the formula from somebody else because they did. Formulas exist because they work time and time again. You will make it unique because you will be putting yourself into the formula. Do not reinvent the wheel. Follow the formula and use it to your advantage. So this is exactly what experienced speakers told me to do. So when I say me, I'm talking as if I'm Mel Robbins, right? She says, which is exactly what the experienced speakers told me to do. Every successful speaker does the same three things. And until you do these three things, you're not really in the speaking game. Now, she did call me out on this one because I don't have a website about my speaking abilities. So I got to work on that. She says, here's what they told me to do. Number one, build a simple website with photos of you on a stage, plus a description of your keynote and the main takeaways. Number two, get testimonials from a few event planners at past events that you've spoken at and put them on the website. And then most important, number three, can I just repeat that? And then most important, right? And then most important. Okay. So, and then most important, start posting about speaking online. Turn your social media into marketing. Post photos from events. Post content related to your speech. Post photos with the event planners that hire you. Social media is how people will find you. Social media demonstrates that you are a player in the industry. And social media is what will lead people to that one-page website so they can book you. All right, now, can I just say this book published, it just came out. So 2024, end of 2024, I just got it in my hands like the last few days. The most important thing she says to do, guys, social media, okay? And this is still 2020, we're 2025 now. It's January 2025 when I'm recording this. It's still the most important thing that you got to do, right? Okay. So this is the formula. Follow it and you will start to get paid. So armed with that advice, I knew exactly what I needed to do. Plus the stakes were really high. I needed the money to get my family out of debt. I was clear about what I needed to do. But did I follow the formula? Not really. Yes, I created a website. Yes, I asked for testimonials and I put them on the website. But did I post on social media? This is Mel Robbins, you guys. We're talking about the woman who has millions of followers and has sold millions of books. Did I post on social media? Nope. At the time, my social media was personal. It was filled with photos of my kids, pictures from my family trips, and selfies with friends. All of my followers were friends, former classmates, and family members. I had never posted anything about my desire to become a motivational speaker or the fact that I'd been doing it for free for over a year. And if you've ever wanted to use social media to launch a business or to promote some new aspect of your life or to share your art, you know how hard it is to look at your account that only has photos of your personal life and make the decision that you're going to turn it into a marketing channel. It took me 2 years, and she puts that in bold letters, right? She spells it out in bold. It took me 2 years to start posting about my business on social media. Why? Okay. If you're listening to this, this is gold dust. I wish I'd met Mel Robbins in that moment, because I could have helped her. She figured it out, but I could have helped her. She says, because I was afraid of what people would think. Who are you afraid of, Mel? My friends. I worried that if I stopped posting photos of my kids and pictures from barbecues and get-togethers with extended family and started posting photos of me speaking at conferences, that people would judge me. Who does she think she is? Who the heck is hiring her to speak? What does she possibly have to say? What a phony. I tried to post, but I'd thumb through my photos from the event and select one or two. And then the fear would kick in. I can feel this. Anyone else feel the fear? I just got major shivers reading that. As I drafted a caption, I would start to feel worried about other people's negative opinions. Does this sound too arrogant? Is this caption professional enough? If I post this, will people unfollow me? Will my friends think I'm full of myself? Should I start a separate account from scratch? I would then convince myself that it wasn't worth it to post. You want to know why? Because I burned through so much energy trying to craft the perfect, most compelling, and marketable image and caption, something that would both promote me and ensure no one else would think a negative thought, that I exhausted myself. This is so good. I just know, I mean, literally, if you're listening to this and you like it totally, you can relate, just say yes in the chat. Okay. Or say yes in your mind if you're not watching it live with me and you're listening on the podcast. Okay. So then she says this. If you're listening to this, you're probably laughing along with me. I created hundreds of draft posts and they just sat there in my drafts for years. And when I did get the jolt of confidence to post, I would leave it up for 5 minutes and check it obsessively. And if there weren't as many likes as I wanted, or the comments weren't as positive as I hoped, I would delete it. This stupid fear kept me from marketing my business, something I wanted to make my full-time career for years. I gave other people's opinions more weight and importance than my own ability to get ahead in life. Talk about giving your power away. I stopped myself from taking the actions that would have helped me achieve my goals, make more money, get out of debt, be able to buy nice things for my kids, and get a lot more clients a lot faster. Isn't that stupid? Of course it's stupid. And yet, I'm sure you struggle with the same fear when it comes to putting yourself out there. Whether it's your business, your art, your music, your videos, or posting a photo of you in a bathing suit, if you're censoring yourself, it's because you fear other people's opinions. That's why you cover up your acne and insist on standing on your good side in every photo. And this is the same reason why you don't speak up at meetings. Online, you are afraid to look bad, and at work, you're afraid to sound bad. You're afraid of what other people will think if they see the real you. Oh, this hits so hard. I see all the yeses on the live chat. There's people saying yes. I'm just going to share the yeses. Yes, says Claire Louise. Yes, says Eileen. I love it. Jane says, well, that's a definite yes. I love it. And then we got people on Instagram saying yes, yes, yes. Angie saying yes, yes, yes. Virtually so. Say so virtual saying that is literally me right now. Oh, this is so, I just want you to know Mel Robbins felt this way. Okay, you guys. So if she felt that way and she built a huge empire online, you can do it too. Okay. So here's what she says. Every time you edit what you post or stay silent in class or at work or hide in the back of the group photo, you are engaging in self-rejection. You are the one telling yourself that you're not good enough. The constant questioning, editing, deleting, overthinking, and asking other people, does it look good, only magnifies your self-doubt. I'm going to repeat that sentence again, okay? Really important that we all hear this, including myself. The constant questioning, editing, deleting, overthinking, and asking other people, does this look good, only magnifies your self-doubt. And you want to know the crazy part? You're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. That's what she says. You're doing it to yourself. I did it too. So, meaning no one else is doing it to you. You're doing it to yourself. Okay. Most advice on this topic sucks. Okay. Now this is where I was like, hang on. TechPixies advice does not suck. So if you do feel that you're in this situation and you do feel that you need support to get out of this situation, then don't listen to most of the stuff that sucks. Come and join TechPixies and you're going to find out that we will help you navigate this and you're going to have some major transformations and our advice does not suck. I promise. Okay. Most people tell you to just stop caring about what other people think. but no one tells you how. It's time for a new approach. Using the let them theory, you'll adopt a revolutionary approach to squashing this fear once and for all. Give people the freedom to think negative thoughts about you. It is a radically beautiful idea that will unlock your confidence, free your self-expression, and catapult you into a whole new chapter of your life. Give people the freedom to think something negative about you. Let them. It not only works, it's science. You have zero control over someone else's opinion about you. The fact is, it's impossible to control someone else's thoughts. Therefore, fearing what other people think or trying to control your thoughts is a complete waste of your time. Can I just say that again? I'm going to say that again. Angie's watching live. I definitely needed to say that again. Okay. The fact is, it is impossible to control someone else's thoughts. Therefore, fearing what other people think, trying to control their thoughts is a complete and utter, she didn't say utter, I'm adding that, waste of your time. You will never feel in control of your life, your feelings, your thoughts, or your actions until you stop being consumed with or trying to control what other people think about you. And she says it again on page 86. I will say it again. Adults will have negative opinions about you no matter what you do. Why? Because adults are allowed to think whatever they want. It is physically and neurologically impossible. Let's circle back to that. Neurologically impossible for you to control what someone else thinks. The average human being has 70,000 thoughts a day, most of which are random and cannot be controlled, which is why it's ludicrous to waste any of your energy worrying about what other people think or trying to change what they think. You can't even control half the thoughts that pop up in your own mind. Why the heck do you think you control what pops up in someone else's? You can't. It's scientifically impossible. That's why the let them theory is so revolutionary. Now, I will say that I don't agree with her on that part, that we can actually consciously control our thoughts. It takes effort, it takes rigor, it takes time. And I have methods like brain priming and our dream builder methods that can help you through it. But I just wanted to pause and just read that bit because she is 100% right. Everything she's just said is 100% right. And I agree with it totally and utterly. So I would encourage you to, well, apart from the fact that you can't change your subconscious thoughts, because I do think you can do that, but it takes effort. And there's a very specific formula that we use at TechPixies to do that. But what I would say is everything she said about the way people feel about social media is 100% right. And our advice at TechPixies doesn't suck. So I'm just going to put my hand out there and say it doesn't suck at TechPixies. And if you are someone who wants to take off your invisibility cloak, you want to put yourself out there on social media, you want to find your voice, then TechPixies is the place to do that. And we are going to be opening enrollment again soon for our social media management certification. And so I wanted to make sure that I read that to you. And if you can relate to what Mel wrote and you feel stuck about getting yourself out there into the world, then you need to join our waitlist. So you want to go to techpixies.com/SMMC waitlist. And that's all one word. So techpixies.com/SMMC waitlist. And when we open enrollment, we're going to let you know about that. And we want to make sure that you don't get stuck the way Mel got stuck. She was stuck there for 2 years, and it took her, 2 years to get herself out of that rut. I can get you out of that rut in 67 days. But you gotta raise your hand and say you want help, right? Like I can't help someone who doesn't want help, right? Just like I can't change someone's opinion about me because they have their own brain and I have my own brain. Just, so it's impossible for me to change your thoughts. You have to change your own thoughts. So anyway, I thank you for letting me invade your inbox or invade your podcasting space. I don't have Mel Robbins on live. I would love to get Mel Robbins on live. And I hope that she'll forgive me for reading a part of her book, but it really hit home for me. And I know there's people in our community that feel that way about social media. And if you feel that way about social media, it's time to stop feeling that way. And it's time to get out of your own way. And it's time to get yourself upskilled with social media through TechPixies. We will help you get to the finish line on that. Take off the invisibility cloak. Feel really, really good about yourself and your ability to make the world a better place and actually take the steps you need to take using social media. So go to techpixies.com/SMMC waitlist. And when our social media management certification opens up again, which will be very soon, then you will have a front row seat to our training. All right. Talk to you soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@techpixies.com. And as a reminder, the Career Interrupted podcast is sponsored by TechPixies. And if you'd like to get your hands on a copy of the Let Them Theory book, go onto our socials wherever we are talking about this book, wherever we're talking about Mel, and comment below saying, I want a copy of the Let Them Theory. And we will draw names out of a hat, and we will be sending 4 copies to people around the globe. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.